Today, welcome to Drinking Beer with Don. This is the second episode where I'm going to rate beers 5 through 8 of the Cascadia Beer Advent Calendar. If you're just tuning in, our local liquor stop, Cascadia, great place, has put together for me a custom-made beer advent calendar with 24 tall cans of beer. The only rules I had when we were putting this together was that no sours. So if there's a sour in there, I will be surprised. And then I didn't want any beer I'd had before. So I got to actually help pick and then review all the beer very quickly to make sure I hadn't said, "Yup, I had that before." So it's all good. So enough of that. Let's get on to today's beer. It is from the Whistler Brewing Company. Of course, Whistler, for those on the West Coast, well, that's a great ski resort town. But they also have some great beer, undoubtedly. And this one is the Apple Lake, correction, this one is the Alpha Lake Apple Pie Ale. An apple pie ale. So if you recall in the last episode, I had a banana cream pie ale and wasn't that keen on it. It was having a hard time telling me what it wanted to be. But this one, we shall find out. It's 5% alcohol, 12 IBU. So definitely low on the IBU scale. Not expecting a lot of hoppiness. The brewer goes on to say on their website, or actually rather on the can, "Fall is upon us. The leaves are changing, perfect for a picnic by the lake." Well, it's a little cold now for a picnic, I think. But anyway, the crisp, cool air fills with the scent of fresh apple pie, an aroma appealing to both humans and curious wildlife alike. Yeah, who knew there was apple pie munching critters, eh? It goes on to say, much like our latest offering, the Whistler Alpha Lake Apple Pie Ale. Okay, so I guess critters like to munch on that too. Flavors and aroma of warm apples baked in a buttery crust with a touch of vanilla and a dash of cinnamon. The perfect fall beer. Well, I'll be the judge of that. But that certainly is good hype. So without further babble, let's have this beer. I smell apples. Oh boy, do I smell apples. Of course, when the banana cream pie ale, I smelled bananas. I smell apples, I smell cinnamon. And it actually does smell like apple pie. All right. Oh, I quite like this. This tastes like apple pie. It does taste buttery. It does. It tastes a bit of vanilla. I quite like this. It's a rich flavor. It's clearly a flavored beer. I don't know if I'd want to quaff one of these. This would be, you have one, I think. But I like it. A little tart, a little acidic, which is not bad. I mean, I expect that with the apple, with the fruit. It's a simple beer. I'm not getting much reading on the actual beer flavor. It's beer. By itself, if I could separate the apple flavor, yeah, the beer would be a light, drinkable beer. The apple takes it to another level. Yeah, I got the cinnamon too now. It snuck up on me. Very much like drinking an apple pie. I gotta say, these guys met the hype. So. All right, after a few minutes of reflection, my impression has gone down just a little bit. So I really like it. I still like it quite a bit. I had to compare it against some of the other beers that I had in the first episode. And I don't like it as much as that IPA I had that I gave a score of 8.7. So I really like it. The reason it's going down a bit is because the flavor is almost getting a little cloying, a little too non-beerish. I mean, it was a neat treat, but I'm already convinced I wouldn't want another one right away. I'm going to shoot at 8 point, drum roll, wait for it, 8.4. It's a good beer, more or less solidly in a good beer territory. So I think we're onto something. I'm tempted to get another one. Today is the 6th of December, so beer number 6. What do we have? We have something from the Lupolo Brewing Company, or Lupolo. I'm not sure how to say it. It's an Italian word, and I'll get to that in a sec. And the beer today I'm also excited about is a smoked Helles Lager. And it's the name of the beer is actually Poco Fumo Lager. It's 4% alcohol, and don't know what the IBUs are, but it's a lager, so it's probably quite on the lighter side. Now, the brewery says this: We use a combination of oak and beechwood smoked malt to layer in complex aromas of campfire, charred marshmallow, and mulled spice. Ooh, that sounds good. Flavors of honey, grain, cracker, enhanced by a single decoction mash with a medium body and natural carbonation. So this is sounds like they got a lot going on in some traditional making, and in fact, the brewer itself, they go on to explain that lupolo, that's their brewery name, is pronounced lupolo. Ah, okay, there we go. Means hops in Italian. We chose an Italian name as a nod to the Italian heritage of two of our founders and to the cultural values associated with Italian culture. Quality, craftsmanship, community, and family, which are central to our vision. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I went to check their other beers on the website as well, and they make a lot of pilsners, lagers. They definitely some Czech pils as well. They seem to like the lighter side, but I'm sure they have cool dark stuff too. Nevertheless, let's get into it. So there's a very a smoked or an oaked beer I quite like. Innocent Gun. It's a British beer, and there's a good smoked Belgian beer, and oaked, smoked, it's very similar. Look at that. That is nice, clear, good effervescence. I can smell smoke. In fact, I can smell oak. I guess both. And it did say, didn't it? It had beechwood and oak. Wow, that's smoky. Almost like there's wood burning in my mouth. Not getting much of the lager. It's getting crushed by the smokiness. I can't make up my mind whether I like it or hate it. Like I say, I like oaked beers. Just waiting for the regular beer flavors to come through. Yeah, back of the tongue, a little light. It's starting to get that lager feeling. And the bubbles are nice on the tip of your tongue. So it's well made. Given the rich smoky flavor, I guess, and now that I'm waiting and getting a bit more, it might be considered complex. Okay, I've been sipping and sipping and sipping. On the one hand, I think it's a well-made beer, and they did what they wanted. They did what they advertised. On the other hand, I really don't like it that much. It's not like other oaked beers I've had, which doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but I find it almost too powerful, too smack in the face. I even tried eating some bread and some crackers to just try to cleanse the palate. Didn't help. So, at the end of the day, even though I don't like it, I think it's well made. It's going to split it and say it's an okay beer, right down the middle, 7.5. If you want to try something different, absolutely, give it a shot. Give this oaked, smoked beer a go, because it is different. It's just not I'm not going to have another one. Today, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. So beer number 7. And I'm really excited about today's beer. It is from one of my favorite breweries of all, Category 12, out of Victoria, British Columbia. These guys have had, in my opinion, winning beers on several of the Cascadia Advent calendars. They just do amazingly rich, complex beers. And this time, it's a Belgian triple for 2024. Why 2024? Because they've done a Belgian triple before. 2 years ago, it won national beer awards. So these guys know what they're doing. This one is 9.1% alcohol, 12 IBUs. So here's what the brewery says. It says, at Category 12, nothing excites us more than brewing and sharing our favorite styles with you. The triple is a true embodiment of everything we love about the style, with its distinctive aromas of bubblegum and banana that entice and refresh, making it a deceptively strong yet light beer. We can't wait to share it with you. So, now I also mentioned this is canned re-fermented. That's one of the reasons it's so darn strong. And it's suitable for cellaring. So, let's do it. You can tell I'm already expecting a great beer. I'd be surprised if this one is not in the 9s. It's the Belgian quadruples that are dark. Doubles are dark, oddly enough. Singles and triples are lighter. And they call them, it's a marketing thing, whether it's double, triple, or quadruple. Really, it's about how strong it is. Not so much about how they've made it. They haven't done things 2 or 3 or 4 times necessarily. Anyway, here we go. The aroma is not that strong. I smelled it when I opened it. It smells a little citrusy. Wow. Wow. Doesn't disappoint, just like some other beers I've had. This is amazing, but it's not. I'm not expecting how this tasted. This is a little different. It's a little spicy. Oh, I like it a lot. It is complex. There's a rich flavor to it, but not too sweet. There is just a touch of hoppiness. I'm getting, maybe it's the banana. I'm getting a bit of banana. I'm getting something a little fruity. Wow. Yum, yum, yum. Having said that, I get a bit of the sweet bubblegumish. It's almost like a candy flavor. It's hard to describe because, no, this is not a beer with candy in it. It is just a very slight flavor on the middle of the tongue that says, this one has much more flavor than what the nose would tell you. There's just so much going on. I'm back. I have had about half of this very strong beer. And I'm not liking it as much as I did initially. Isn't that weird? I was having such high hopes for this category 12. It's still a very good beer. Is it a great beer? That's what I'm trying to cogitate on right now. I'm thinking back to that coffee beer I really loved, Divine Caffeination. This is not as good. That other beer was a 9.3. So really my question is this a 9 or a high 8? I'm going to, once again, go right down the middle. It's a 9.0. Bottom end of an excellent beer. 9.0. I still go out and get it. You won't be disappointed. I just had a higher hope for it, and I'm just a little disappointed by category 12, this one. But as I say, they make some of my favorite beers ever. And so this is still a really good beer. Really good beer. It's a great beer. 9.0. The 8th beer is from Daggerad Brewing in Burnaby, British Columbia. These guys specialize in Belgian ales. So I'm starting to think, the guys at Cascadia know I love Belgian beer. In fact, I usually have a case of Belgian beer on the go at home at all times, 1 or 2. Because I love my Belgian beer. I lived a total of 6 years there. And so, not a big surprise that there's another Belgian ale in my advent calendar. And today is called a Colanta. Daggerad, as I say, really specializes in Belgian ale. And this Colanta is a Belgian-style blonde ale with lime leaf and galangal. I don't know what that is, but probably should have done some research. The beer can says, the Colanta brings the bright citrusy flavors of a Thai yellow curry to the fruity crispness of a Belgian blonde ale. So they've combined a Belgian blonde ale with some extra stuff. This beer has citrusy, earthy, and spicy notes that layer over the esters and blend with the yeasty esters and blend with the subtly herbal hops for a compelling and refreshing drink. I'm looking forward to it. Now, yesterday's beer, I had great hopes for it. Category 12, Belgian Triple. It was very good, but it wasn't the wow that I thought initially was. It was good. So let's see what this one is, because I've had Daggerad regular blonde ale, award-winning as well. Also a phenomenal beer. So without more yakking, let's have some of this one. A little cloudy. That's okay. I smell hops, a touch of citrus. I taste the curry. Oddly enough, it's not bad. It's an interesting combination. It's not what I would have expected. Compared to the other one, this one actually is more like the Schoof, more like the modern brewery, and I quite like it. BC is making some great beer. Daggerad, you guys are rocking this. This is not bad. And now I'm getting the lime. This is very good. I said that last time, but man, this is Surprisingly good. I have a hunch this will get better with tasting, not the other way around. It's not as sweet as the previous beer. It's got a nice tang to it, but don't even think about it. Think something like a sour. This is just a nice, refreshing, rich beer, and it is rich. It is, dare I say, I abused word of complex, because it's got the curry, the lime, it's got some wonderful yeasty flavors to it. I can taste a bit of the hops. 6.4% alcohol. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. I've had a little over half of this, and something that has come through. I even had some regular plain Lay's chips to try to cleanse my palate and start fresh again. And the thing that comes through is it's very much now all about the lime and the curry, and it's almost a little too much of that, and I'm losing that Belgian gorgeousness that I've initially tasted. I think if it had been less of the extra flavor and more of just a regular Daggerad blonde style Belgian ale, it would have been comparable to what I just had yesterday. It's a neat idea, so definitely it's worth trying this beer. So it's a very good beer, there's no question. And I looked at my other scores, and it's around the same territory as that wonderful Nelson IPA I had in the last episode, which was an 8.7. I think this one is just a whisker above it, so I'm going to give this, maybe not a surprise, but drum roll, 8.8. Solid, very good beer, just a little too much on the extra flavor. This now brings to a close this episode, so I've done beers 5 through 8. Man, even though I would give it a bit of a hard time, I cannot underestimate that my favorite beer so far was that Belgian Triple from Category 12. It's still a really, really good beer. My second favorite is that Apple Pie Ale from Whistler Brewing. Also, a surprise, because it was a treat, and it was a beer. So, actually that's not true. This Daggerad is my second favorite at 8.8. Apple Pie was also really good at 8.4. So, it's all a blur. That's 1/3 of the beer calendar is done. 2/3 to go. Stay tuned for the next episode. Cheers.